Oh, Megan, it is Thursday. Let's pull this up because you were fresh from the best little whorehouse in Arlington. That was nice. Yeah, and we start the show with a discussion about the potential rift in the Republican Party, using as an example the clip from, I guess it was yesterday, where Kevin McCarthy was asked about President Trump speaking at CPAC and whether or not that was appropriate, and he said yes. The same reporter then asked Representative Liz Cheney the same question, and she very succinctly said that she thought since the events of January 6th, she does not believe that there is room for former President Trump in the future of the party. So very clearly, but also saying it's up to CPAC to do whatever they want. That was the basis of the discussion, to say, are we finding a rift in the Republican Party, and what does the future look like? And again, you don't address that topic. You go on a 4-minute advertisement for CPAC, which is just a dog and pony show for wackadoodles, further entrenching your party into conspiracy and hyperbole and just bullshit. And you say, get out the popcorn and the whiskey because Trump's speech is going to be something else, which means you're looking forward to it. But you realize, this helps set the whole tone for the Republican Party. This is the party you claim to love. Dyed-in-the-wool Republican that you will not address as your job. You, Meghan McCain, co-host of The View, as an analyst, aren't addressing the actual issue within the Republican Party, that there are fractions that just cannot coexist in a meaningful way within the same party. And you just go on about, how much you're looking forward to seeing, how does Sonny put it? Twice impeached former, disgraced, twice impeached former President Trump, whatever she says. Good job in using your platform there to advertise for CPAC, while complaining every day that, the media throws you all into the same group. The media is going to use CPAC to define the Republicans. You're getting what you wish for here. Don't come back on TV and complain, I don't want to be called a MAGA, when you're touting what a big deal Trump's speech is at CPAC, and CPAC is a big deal for the Republican Party. You don't get it both ways. Then the topic of Andrew Cuomo comes up, and the sexual harassment allegations from Lindsey Boylan. By the way, her name is Lindsey Boylan. You called her the woman who brought them up. Who, by the way, Lindsey Boylan ran in the primary against Jerry Nadler for his seat, and is currently running for Manhattan Borough president. She's quite what we call progressive now, which is really just humane. I would say the kind of candidate who rocks the vote a little bit, isn't necessarily an establishment candidate, in the vein of AOC. And so I think you'd have an idea who this woman was, being the political, fiend that you are. And, since you live in New York, but you haven't been here for a year. Anyway, her name is Lindsey Boylan. So I'll be interested to see how much you appreciate her once you get to understand what her politics are. But, there's nothing to talk about here. Because he needs to go. It's too much. you jump on, a statement that he made about Dr. Blasey Ford during the Kavanaugh hearings, that all women are to be believed, and you say there's a tremendous amount of silence in among Democrats about this behavior. Now, although the allegations were made a while ago, there was just a blog post, I believe, that came out either yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday. So there hasn't been, it hasn't been like a major story for some time, and you're adamant that Kristen Gillibrand, although you keep calling her Gillibrand, which I think it's Gillibrand, but we'll figure that out. She has to make a statement. She must make a statement. She must make a statement today. So okay, that you want the Democrats to make a statement about allegations against the governor of New York. Where is your call for statements from Republicans about supporting an insurrection in the United States, supporting a coup attempt, supporting the overturning of election results, fair election results? Where was your adamant voice to say these people need to stand up and say something against what's going on against our country? Again, you don't get to have it both ways. And there will be statements about Andrew Cuomo. I tend to agree with Whoopi. Letitia James isn't going to play favorites. She's the one who brought up the investigation about the nursing homes to begin with. So she doesn't owe any political favors. At least that's the way it seems. She hasn't been in the office long, but she seems to be doing a good job pulling no punches and not playing favorites. So I tend to believe that that justice will work out. You going on TV and demanding that Kristen Gillibrand say something right now isn't, again, necessarily the best use of your time. But again, calling out the white supremacy and the Confederacy and the QAnon within your own party and demanding that your own leaders do the same would be a better use of your time on television. Then, after not answering the first question and giving a CPAC advertisement, and having a repeated history of not actually answering the question at hand, you asked Jen Psaki, the spokesperson for the White House, or the press secretary for the White House, about the new facility at the border that was recently opened for children. And Jen gives you the answer. We needed to open a second facility. We refurbished and whatever. I can't remember the word she used, but it was basically a refurbishing and a fixing up of an existing structure so that they could abide by COVID protocols for the kids that are coming in from the border. These are probably kids that have already been separated from their families, that they are trying to get to their families, which is what she said twice. But they can't. There's no paperwork. There is no paper trail because the previous administration just ripped kids apart from their parents and left them in cages. So now they're out of cages. They're giving them healthcare and education and trying to make sure that they're safe, and being able to find them, if they can't find their actual families, finding them safe families to live with. So that's what they're doing. It's what she said they were doing. And as soon as she finishes telling you the answer, you say, that's not an answer to the question. You get all huffy, interrupt Sunny, and say, are you separating kids from their families and putting them in cages or not? How fucking dare you, first of all, when she did answer your question. And no, that's not what they're doing. I don't know. Again, you want little binary bites. Where's your love of nuance? She gave you the answer. And it was an explanation of what they're doing, which you clearly didn't listen to, or you wouldn't have followed up to ask her the same question again. And then when she answered it, again, being very clear, you again follow up with another badgering question. She has answered it. I don't know what you think you're going to get by continuing to answer the same question. What is the quote? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's just mind-boggling. And Joy kind of gave you a backhanded smackdown about how could anyone possibly think that's what's going on. Anyway, yeah, it was an unsuccessful day, Meghan, yet again, of you, God, just being you. And the more I see of you, you're a detriment to the country. You are not doing a service to anyone. You're not even doing a service to your own party. So I'm failing to understand why you're even on TV to begin with, other than the fact you like to show off really stupid fucking hairdos.